What separates the ultra-successful from those who keep spinning their wheels? Why do some people seem to achieve everything they set their minds to, while others struggle just to keep up? The truth is, success isn't just about hard work. It's about having the edge, that razor-sharp difference between those who win and those who settle. The problem? Most people don't even realize they're holding themselves back. They keep waiting for the right time, the right opportunity, or for someone else to give them permission. But here's the deal. Success is not given, it's taken. And if you're ready to claim it, to take control of your life and own your future, then you need to understand the 6 steps that create unstoppable success. But let's break them down. The trigger moment when everything changes. Personal story, every successful person has had a moment of absolute clarity where they realized that they couldn't live the same way anymore. Key lesson, success doesn't happen by accident, it starts with a decision. Practical advice, identify your trigger moment. What is pushing you to level up? Write it down, feel it, and commit. There's a moment in every successful person's life when everything shifts. It's not always dramatic, it's not always a rock bottom moment or some life or death scenario, but it's powerful. It's that moment of absolute clarity when you realize that you cannot keep living the way you have been living. It's when you recognize deep in your soul that you are meant for more and anything less is unacceptable. Maybe it happens when you look in the mirror and don't recognize yourself anymore. Maybe it's after another year of broken promises to yourself, another year of playing small, of waiting, of hoping things will magically change. Maybe it's when you see someone else living the life you know you should be living, and instead of feeling inspired, you feel something else. You feel angry, not at them, but at yourself. Because deep down, you know you're capable of more, and you're sick of the excuses, the delays, the second guessing. For some, this moment comes in the form of a crisis, a business failure, a divorce, a betrayal, a health scare, a moment when everything crumbles and you're left standing in the wreckage, forced to make a choice, either rebuild and rise stronger or let it break you. But for others, it's quieter. It's that ordinary day when you suddenly feel the weight of wasted time. When you realize that if you don't change right now, you'll wake up a year from today in the exact same place with the same problems, the same frustrations, the same unfulfilled potential. And that thought is terrifying. The people who break through, the ones who create real success, act on that moment. They don't wait for the right time. They don't make excuses. They don't negotiate with their limitations. They decide. In that instant, they make a real decision. Not the kind where you say, I should do this, or I need to change. No, those are weak. They make the kind of decision where there's no turning back, the kind that demands commitment, that demands action. This moment is the catalyst, it's the trigger that sets everything in motion. But most people ignore it. They feel the discomfort, they feel the urgency, and then they let it pass. They numb it with distractions, tell themselves they'll start tomorrow, that they need more time, and before they know it, years slip by. But the ones who win, they seize it. They don't wait for permission, they take ownership. They decide that from this moment forward, they will do whatever it takes to create the life they know they are meant for. Mindset is the battlefield. Story, the greatest achievers have faced doubt, fear, and failure, but they rewire their minds to push through. Mindset shift. Your thoughts shape your reality. If you believe you're limited, you are. Actionable step, daily priming, visualization, affirmations, and conditioning your mind for success. Your mind is the single greatest weapon you have, but for most people, it's also their biggest enemy. Success doesn't start with talent, resources, or even opportunity. It starts in the mind, the way you think, the beliefs you hold, and the stories you tell yourself will either propel you forward or hold you back in chains you can't even see. Most people don't realize that their biggest battle isn't against the economy, their competition, or even their circumstances. It's against themselves. It's against the voice inside their head that whispers, you're not ready. You're not good enough. What if you fail? That voice isn't just annoying, it's deadly. It's the voice that keeps people stuck in jobs they hate and relationships that drain them in patterns of procrastination and self-sabotage. It's the voice that makes them hesitate when they should take action, that convinces them to play it safe when they should be risking everything for the life they truly want. But here's the truth, that voice is a lie. It's a program, a script, written by past experiences, by society, by people who told you what you could and couldn't do. Most of what you believe about yourself, your limitations, your strengths, your potential, was taught to you at some point. And if it was taught to you, that means it can be rewritten. The most successful people in the world are not the ones with the least fear or doubt. They're the ones who have learned how to rewire their minds to work for them instead of against them. They've trained themselves to take action even when they don't feel ready. They've conditioned themselves to see challenges as opportunities instead of obstacles. They built the habit of replacing negative thoughts with empowering beliefs over and over until success becomes their default mode. Most people assume that success comes down to intelligence, luck, or connections. But if that were true, then why do some of the smartest, most privileged people in the world still live in fear, still struggle, still fail to take control of their lives? And why do others who start with nothing, who face unimaginable hardships, still find a way to rise? The answer is simple: mindset. When you learn how to take control of your thoughts, everything changes. Your brain is like a muscle. It strengthens through repetition. The more you train it to focus on solutions instead of problems, to find lessons in failures instead of shame, to push forward instead of retreating, the more powerful it becomes. But just like a muscle, if you don't train it, it weakens. If you let fear, doubt, and hesitation run the show, they will dominate your life. There's no neutral ground when it comes to mindset. You're either conditioning yourself for success or you're unconsciously conditioning yourself for mediocrity. The battlefield is in your mind, and every single day you have a choice. Fight for the life you want, or surrender to the excuses, the fears, and the limitations that are trying to keep you small. The power of relentless execution. Example, the most successful don't just set goals, they execute relentlessly, even when they don't feel like it. Lesson: motivation fades, but habits last. Practical step: build a daily ritual of progress. Tiny, consistent actions create massive success. Success is not about having the best idea. It's not about having the perfect plan. It's about one thing: relentless execution. Most people overthink, they hesitate, they analyze every possible outcome, trying to predict the future, waiting for certainty before they move. But here's the truth: certainty doesn't come before action. Certainty is created through action. The people who win in life aren't the ones with the most knowledge. They're the ones who execute, who take massive action, who move even when they don't feel ready. You've seen it before. Someone talks about starting a business, but they never launch. They talk about getting in shape, but they never change their habits. They have all the ideas, all the knowledge, all the plans, but they're stuck in the same place year after year. Why? Because they don't execute. And if you don't execute, nothing changes. The people who rise to the top are the ones who act before they feel ready. They take imperfect action. They adjust on the fly. They learn by doing, not by sitting on the sidelines waiting for everything to be perfect. They don't wait for motivation to strike because they know motivation is a byproduct of action. Think about the most successful entrepreneurs, athletes, and leaders in the world. They don't just work hard once in a while. They don't take action when it's convenient. They execute relentlessly, day after day, whether they feel like it or not. They push through discomfort, rejection, and failure because they understand one thing: consistent execution beats talent every single time. The problem most people have is they let emotions dictate their actions. They only work hard when they're inspired. They only take risks when they feel confident. They only push themselves when it's comfortable. That's why they stay stuck. The real winners operate differently. They don't let emotions control them, they control their emotions. They've built the discipline to take action regardless of how they feel. If you want real success, you have to rewire your mind to prioritize execution over everything else. That means taking action even when you're scared. It means pushing forward even when you're uncertain. It means showing up every single day, not just when it's easy, but especially when it's hard. Because success isn't about what you do once in a while. It's about what you do relentlessly, over and over, until the result is inevitable. Embracing the power of pressure. The story, diamonds are made under pressure. Growth happens when you lean into discomfort. Emotional connection. The fear of failure stops most people. But what if failure is part of the formula? Action step. Seek out pressure, challenge yourself, and build resilience. Pressure is not your enemy. It's your greatest weapon. The difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck isn't intelligence, talent, or luck. It's their relationship with pressure. Most people avoid it. They run from it. They think pressure is something negative, something to be feared. But the most successful people in the world seek it out because they know that pressure is what creates growth, strength, and transformation. Think about it. How is a diamond formed? Not in comfort, not in ease. A diamond is formed under extreme heat and pressure. Without that pressure, it remains just another piece of coal, fragile and ordinary. The same principle applies to you. Without pressure, without challenge, without intensity, you remain the same. You don't grow, you don't evolve, you stay stuck in your current reality, wondering why you're not making progress. Most people want success, but they don't want the pressure that comes with it. They want the rewards without the responsibility, the victory without the battle. They want to be stronger, but they don't want to go through the pain that makes them strong. That's why they stay in their comfort zones, playing it safe, avoiding risk, and convincing themselves that they're not ready or that they need more time. But comfort is the enemy of greatness. Every time you back down from pressure, you weaken your ability to handle it in the future. The truth is, pressure is a privilege. It's a sign that you are growing, that you are being stretched beyond your limits, that you are stepping into a higher level of yourself. The most successful people don't run from pressure, they embrace it. They use it to fuel them. They put themselves in situations where they are forced to level up, where they must grow or be left behind. They set impossible goals. They take on challenges that scare them. They step into rooms where they are the least experienced person, knowing that the only way to rise is to put themselves under intense, focused pressure. Think about the greatest athletes in the world. When the game is on the line, when the pressure is at its highest, they don't crumble. They thrive. They want the ball in their hands. They don't shy away from the moment. They step into it. And that's not because they're fearless. It's because they've trained themselves to function under pressure. They've learned to control their emotions, to reframe stress as fuel, to see pressure not as a threat, but as an opportunity. The same applies to you. If you want to achieve something extraordinary, you have to stop running from pressure and start seeking it. Growth only happens under resistance. Strength is only built through struggle. You don't develop resilience by taking the easy path. You develop it by stepping into situations where you are forced to adapt, to overcome, and to push through, no matter what. Most people spend their lives trying to eliminate pressure. They want everything to be easy, smooth, predictable. But the problem with an easy life is that it makes you weak. It makes you complacent. It keeps you operating at a fraction of your potential. Pressure is what separates those who talk about success from those who actually achieve it. It's what forces you to become the person you were meant to be. Building magnetic influence. Example, the highest achievers aren't just skilled, they know how to influence and inspire. Mindset shift. Success isn't just about what you do, it's about how you connect with others. Action step, learn the art of communication, persuasion, and leadership. Influence is everything. It's the invisible force that separates leaders from followers, winners from spectators, and the truly successful from those who just get by. No matter what industry you're in, no matter what your goals are, your ability to influence others will determine the level of success you achieve. The most powerful people in the world, CEOs, entrepreneurs, athletes, politicians, artists, are not just skilled at what they do. They have a magnetic presence that draws people in. They know how to inspire, persuade, and lead. They don't just work hard. They make people believe in them, their vision, and their mission. Most people assume that influence is about talking louder, being more aggressive, or having a bigger personality. But real influence isn't about controlling people. It's about creating a pull so strong that people want to follow you. It's about making people feel something so deeply that they take action, not because they're forced to, but because they are inspired to. And the key to this kind of influence? Certainty. People are drawn to certainty like a magnet. In a world full of doubt, hesitation, and fear, the person who stands with unshakable confidence, who speaks with conviction, who moves with absolute belief in what they're doing, that person holds the power. Think about the most charismatic and influential people in history. They weren't necessarily the smartest, the richest, or the most talented, but they had certainty in what they stood for. They believed in their vision so deeply that others couldn't help but believe in it too. That's the energy that creates influence. And the truth is, you don't need to be born with it. You can build it. It starts with mastering your own energy. People don't just listen to your words, they feel your presence. They read your body language, your tone, your confidence. If you're unsure, hesitant, or second-guessing yourself, people pick up on that instantly. But when you step into a room with the energy of someone who knows where they're going, who speaks with passion and purpose, who radiates certainty, people lean in. They listen, they follow. Most people spend their lives trying to convince others to believe in them, but influence doesn't work that way. You don't gain influence by asking for it. You gain it by becoming the kind of person people want to follow. You become magnetic by embodying strength, certainty, and purpose in everything you do. You become influential by providing value, by solving problems, by making people's lives better. Another key to influence, emotional connection. People don't remember facts, they remember feelings. They follow those who make them feel understood, empowered, and capable. If you want influence, you have to master the art of empathy. You have to understand what drives people, what excites them, what scares them. You have to listen, not just to respond, but to truly understand. The best influencers don't just talk at people, they create an emotional experience. They make people feel seen, heard, and valued. That's what creates deep, lasting influence. And then there's communication, the way you speak, the way you carry yourself, the way you deliver your message. It all matters. Influence isn't about what you say, it's about how you say it. The most influential people know how to tell a story that captivates, how to use their voice to command attention, how to deliver a message so powerfully that it sticks. They don't just give information, they create impact. The final piece, integrity. Influence isn't just about getting people to follow you. It's about leading them somewhere meaningful. True influence isn't manipulation, it's leadership. It's about standing for something bigger than yourself, being the example, and living in alignment with your words. Because at the end of the day, people may be drawn to confidence and charisma, but they stay loyal to authenticity. If you want to build magnetic influence, you have to be the kind of person people trust, respect, and believe in. Not just for a moment, but for a lifetime. The relentless commitment to growth. Powerful message. Success isn't a destination, it's a process of never-ending growth. Emotional encouragement. The world rewards those who refuse to settle. Call to action. Decide right now, who do you need to become to have the life you desire? Then take the first step today. Growth is not a one-time event. It's not something you do when it's convenient or when you feel motivated. Real growth is an obsession, a relentless, never-ending commitment to becoming better every single day. The people who rise to the top in any field, business, sports, leadership, personal development, are not the ones who simply work hard once in a while. They are the ones who have made growth their identity. They don't just try to improve, they demand it from themselves every single day without excuse. Most people don't live with this level of intensity. They grow when they feel like it. They push themselves when it's easy. They start strong, but when things get tough, they pull back. They tell themselves they'll get serious next year, or when they have more time, or when they feel ready. And that's why they stay stuck, because they treat growth as a part-time effort instead of a full-time commitment. The truth is, if you're not growing, you're dying. There is no neutral. There is no standing still. Every day, you are either getting stronger, smarter, more disciplined, and more capable, or you're getting weaker, slower, and further from the life you say you want. And the difference between the people who win and the people who stay in the same cycle year after year is simple. The winners refuse to settle. They refuse to accept the idea that they have made it. They refuse to believe they are done learning, improving, and evolving. They wake up every single day hungry for more, not out of greed, but because they know they have more potential to unlock, more limits to break, more greatness to step into. But here's the challenge. Growth isn't comfortable. It doesn't feel good. It's messy. It requires you to face your weaknesses, push through resistance, and do things you don't feel like doing. And that's why most people avoid it. They say they want success, but they don't want the discomfort that comes with it. They say they want to be better, but when the work gets hard, they back off. That's the difference between the average and the elite. The elite don't run from the hard work. They chase it. They look for the struggle because they know that struggle is the only path to true strength. If you study the most successful people in history, you'll notice one thing. They never stop learning. They never stop growing. They never allow themselves to plateau. Even when they've reached a level of success that others admire, they keep pushing. They keep evolving. They refuse to get comfortable because they understand something most people don't. The moment you get comfortable, you start declining. The moment you think you've arrived is the moment you start falling behind. It's not just about knowledge. Growth isn't about reading a few books or attending a seminar once in a while. It's about execution. It's about taking what you learn and applying it relentlessly. It's about surrounding yourself with people who challenge you, who force you to level up, who don't let you settle for average. It's about putting yourself in uncomfortable situations where you are forced to stretch beyond your current limits. Most people want shortcuts. They want success without the grind, the discipline, the failures, and the lessons that come with real growth. But the truth is, there are no shortcuts. There is only the work. And the people who embrace that, the people who wake up every day with a fire inside them, the people who hold themselves to an unbreakable standard, those are the people who create unstoppable momentum. At the end of the day, success isn't about luck, talent, or waiting for the perfect moment. It's about who you become in the process. It's about mastering your mind, controlling your emotions, and stepping into pressure instead of running from it. It's about executing relentlessly, refusing to settle, and committing to a lifetime of growth. Most people live their lives reacting to their fears, their doubts, and their circumstances. But the people who win don't react, they decide. They decide to take ownership of their lives. They decide to rewrite the story they've been telling themselves. They decide to step up, to execute, to push through no matter what. The truth is, there is no secret formula. There is no shortcut. There is only the work of training your mind to battle resistance, the work of taking massive, messy action even when you don't feel ready, the work of putting yourself under pressure and choosing to grow instead of retreat. If you want total success, you have to become the person who demands it from themselves, not just once, not just when it's convenient, but every single day. Because at the end of your life, you won't regret the risks you took, the pressure you embraced, or the relentless action you pushed through. You'll regret the moments you hesitated, the moments you let fear stop you, the moments you played small when you were meant for more. So decide right now, step up, execute, grow. The edge is right in front of you, but only if you're willing to take it.